I got a new toy in the mail the other day from BangGood.com. This is the Hubsan H111C Nano Q4 mini quadcopter. It's a mini quadcopter with a built-in camera. It's not live FPV, but it does record video straight to a micro SD card in the quadcopter. So you can see here I got a little bit of shipping damage. Here's a size comparison for the packaging. The little quadcopter is about the size of a Zippo lighter there. Let's go ahead and open it up, see what we got inside. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and zoom out here. Okay, so right off the bat in the box we have the quadcopter, neatly fastened to a piece of cardboard. We have the microcontroller. It's probably the smallest RC controller I've ever handled before. Looks like we're going to need 2 AAAs. And what else we have inside this box? Looks like we have our USB charging cable and some spare propellers, 4 total. Anything else? And here's the instruction manual. Let's cut this quadcopter free of the packaging and see if there's anything else in here I'm missing. Guess I need something sharper. Or I could just take them off like rubber bands, I guess. There it is. Very small. Let's get some of this stuff out of the way and we can take a look at the quadcopter. Okay, so it looks like the frame of this thing is built out of PCB, I think it's called. Your basic electronic board. Hopefully something a little bit stronger, because if these arms snap off, it looks like you're out of luck. Because your connections are built right into the board. There's no motor wires that you can solder back together. Right off the bat I noticed the motors move a little bit. So we'll see if that affects the flight at all. There's the little camera in the front. Looks like there's a protective cover on it. Tiny little lens. Even smaller than my cell phone camera. Looks like kind of have little protrusions there that double up as landing gear, shock absorbing, and protect the motors. You can see the battery just through the top of this cover. Battery stacked on top of the circuit board there. And if you look through that slot, that's where your micro SD card goes. On the back here you have your charging connector. So that's a piece of the main board that goes up to the battery. So I'm guessing right off the bat this is something I don't want to fly over concrete. Probably just stick to carpeting or grass, because if you land hard you could break an arm, or you could break this connector because it's all part of the main board. But we'll see, maybe it's stronger than I think. So okay, let's see what else we got here. So looking back at the tiny controller, I already showed you it takes 2 AA batteries, and you can press in on the left and the right. Tiny on off switch and trims, which also apparently, according to the manual here, let's see, here's our mode 2 diagram. They also apparently share the video function, which I'm not sure how you share the trim and the video on the same button, but I'll find out once I start messing around with it. Something I did notice that I passed earlier when I was looking at the instruction manual is the power button. Okay, it's right here. It's kind of an unusual setup. I gotta focus. It's just, I don't know if you can see the power symbol right there, but you press down on that, and there's a button on that circuit board that gets hit when you press the power button. So I'm gonna go ahead and charge this thing up, and we'll do some line of sight flight, and then we'll check out the onboard video and photo features. Okay, so it's all charged up. I'm just going to go ahead and try to do a video right off the bat. I already put my micro SD card in there. Where's Bella? What is that? So I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. You have to hold it for 3 seconds. All the lights come on. And they do that until you arm the throttle, I think. And I'm going to go ahead and do a video right off the bat by pressing and holding this right trim button for 1.5 seconds. And you'll see these are alternating just like a red blinking light on a regular camera. So I'm going to get this away from Bella because she's going to try to get it. And let's go fly it. The small controller takes some getting used to. The controls are kind of tight, and being small doesn't really help, but might just need some getting used to. Fly it up through the loft up there. Oh. Oh, nice. So it fell, but I was able to recover just before it hit the ground. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this video just by holding the same button for 1.5 seconds. And it beeped and the flashing light stopped, so it's done recording. I just wanted to show how cool the LED lights shine on the props and make them illuminate when the props are spinning. Okay, so I've been playing with this little quad for a few days, and so far nothing's broke. I did pop off the propeller a few times flying outside. I didn't get any outside flying footage because it's been kind of windy, and this one does struggle in the wind a little bit. I had to put it into the expert mode, which gives you a little bit more control throw just to be able to maneuver it in the wind outside. The thing I'm most impressed about this little thing is the flight time. I probably got about 7 or 8 minute flights, which is more than I think the 5 minutes the manual states. So that's good. The charge time is about a half hour, so that's still on par with what the manual says. The video, it's not HD video, I think it's 480 resolution roughly. But it's pretty good for the size of this thing. You know, it's roughly the size of, you know, your thumb. So I'm impressed by the video too. I'm used to flying first-person view, you know, having a first-person view multi-copter for video, so it's kind of unusual to not be able to see what you're recording, but it's still fun to go back and watch the flights. Although it can be a little bit nauseating because you can't, you know, fly smoothly because it's harder to see what the video is actually recording. So as far as the buttons on the transmitter go, it was more straightforward than I thought. The video start and stop does share the trim, so the trim just works as a, you know, quick little clicks for the trim here, and then you hold it down the right side 1.5 seconds to either start or stop the video. And if you want to take a photo, it's 1.5 seconds for that. So hold it down for 1.5 seconds and the lights will flash and it takes a photo. Speaking of which, something I'm not impressed with is the photos. There's really no point. Got interrupted there for a second. Anyways, the photo feature, it's kind of useless in my opinion. I think you're better off just taking a screenshot from, you know, your video. It's basically, the photos aren't really worth, you know, messing with. I would just take a, you know, shoot video as normal, and if you see something you want, just take a screenshot out of the video. But I'm not really sure if I would call that a con, because you don't really lose anything by having that feature. You already have video in the first place, so you're not really losing anything. I didn't fly over concrete to test the durability because I like this thing so much. So I'm not going to try to break it intentionally. Actually, I did fly over concrete at work, that warehouse scene that you saw, but I didn't crash it. So that's good. So yeah, that's my, I'm impressed by it. Video is pretty impressive for a small little thing. It's, like I said, didn't test the durability, but I'm not going to go flying it like, you know, into walls, obviously. I guess my two main gripe would be the controller being small. It's kind of hard and stiff to get used to, but I'll probably get better with that over time. And like I said, I am impressed by the battery life. You get a pretty long battery life for the size of this little thing. I have another quadcopter that's maybe twice the size, still small, but that one only gets probably 5-minute flight times. So yeah, that's the Hubsan H111C quadcopter, available from BangGood.com. It's reasonably priced, so if you're looking for something that can shoot video that you can go check out later, check this one out. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.